vocal cords ready, blood sugar replenished. Let the show begin!
Hello YouTube, Furina is here and my Furina guide is currently being worked on, so for now, I'll answer some frequently asked questions about Furina. Question 1. How does Furina compare to Yelan and XQ? Furina deals higher damage than both XQ and Yelan, and she provides a bigger buff than Yelan with better uptime. However, Furina's Hydro application is much slower, and most of the time will not be enough as solo Hydro for teams that want a lot of Hydro application, such as Reverse Vaporize, Overvape, Borgen, and Pure Hyper Bloom. And these teams, if using only one Hydro unit, XQ or Yelan should be better than Furina. However, these are the only teams where Furina's Hydro application being slower actually matters, and these teams tend to like to go double Hydro anyway, and Furina should be an upgrade for double Hydro teams. In pretty much any other type of team, Furina will almost always be a damage upgrade over XQ or Yelan, although some players may still prefer XQ for his defensive utility. Question 2. Is Furina only good with Fontaine units? No. While many Fontaine units can build Fanfare points faster than other units, this doesn't actually result in them getting too much more value out of Furina than other units. As long as you use a good healer, even non-Fontaine units can max out Furina's Fanfare points. It may just be slightly slower. Question 3. Does Furina need constellations to be strong? No. Furina has excellent constellations, but she is already excellent at C0. Question 4. Which is better, Furina's constellations or her weapon? Constellations. If you are looking for an early vertical investment into Furina, go for C1, not her weapon. Furina's weapon improves her personal damage by a good amount, but her C1 is a bigger increase to her damage, while also increasing the entire team's damage. Question 5. Does Furina have energy issues?
Good guess, but actually no.
Furina has relatively high energy requirements because she only catches like 1 or 2 of her own particles in most rotations. However, she can reach enough energy recharge fairly easy by using either an energy recharge weapon or sands and having a few energy recharge substats. Question 6. What 4-star weapon should I use if I don't have Festering Desire? Either Favonius or the Fontaine Fishing Sword. The Fishing Sword does more damage, but Favonius may be better overall for team damage due to the particles from it lowering team energy requirements. Question 7. Do I need to use a healer with Furina? Yes. Furina's summons are constantly draining your entire team's HP. If you do not bring a healer, you will quickly end up at 50% HP. If you reach 50% HP, Furina will stop draining HP, so you won't be building any Fanfare points, and Furina will lose the multiplier her skill gets from draining HP. And you will be playing at 50% HP, so you will die easily. Question 8. Do I need to use a character that can heal the entire team? Teamwide healers are ideal because they will get you Fanfare points much faster and help keep the entire team's HP high so that Furina can continue draining HP. However, some single target healers like Bennett and Kuki can provide enough value to still be worth using. You may just want to ensure that you rotate the team through Bennett's burst or Kuki's skill as needed to ensure they get healed. Question 9. Since Neuvillette can heal himself, can I use him without a healer with Furina? You technically can, but there really isn't a good reason to do so. Furina's buff will be much lower without a healer, and your party's HP will constantly be below 50% HP, meaning Furina will be doing a lot less damage. It's also very easy to fit in a good healer onto Neuvillette's team, such as Jean, Baizu, or Charlotte, so there isn't much reason to not use a healer on his team. Question 10. How do I know how many Fanfare points I have? During Furina's burst, there will be a bubble filter around the screen. When you reach 100, 200, and 300 Fanfare points, audience members will briefly appear at the bottom of the screen. At 100, there will only be 2, 200 there will be a bit more, and at 300, they will essentially fill the entire bottom of the screen. Additionally, once you are at max Fanfare points, the bubble filter will gain a pink hue. Question 11. How big is Furina's buff? At talent level 10, the buff from Furina's burst is 75 damage percent bonus at max stacks. On average, most teams with a good healer can get the buff averaged across the rotation at about 48 to 61%. This tends to increase characters' damage by anywhere from 23 to 43%. That is around the same, to possibly even a lot more, than what Bennett increases a lot of characters' damage by, and Furina does it while buffing the entire team, having higher uptime, being able to buff even characters that don't use attack, and while doing a lot of damage of her own. Question 12. Does Furina's HP drain make it worth using the Meira Hunter set and HP change weapons like the Fontaine craftables on non-Fontaine characters? Yes. Meira Hunter is the best in slot artifact set for many on-field DPS units when paired with Furina. The craftable weapons like Flowing Purity and Finale of the Deep also become amazing F2P weapons with Furina as well. Question 13. In a Furina team, with what characters is it worth using Meira Hunter on? Basically any on-field DPS that doesn't already have a very strong signature set. Characters using sets like Emblem of Severed Fate, Pale Flame, and Blizzard Strayer aren't likely to see much of an increase, if any, from using Meira Hunter. To give a small list of some characters that get a large increase from switching to Meira Hunter, there's Wanderer, Hu Tao, Alhaitham, and Klee. There is a lot more, that's just a small example list. Question 14. In a Furina team, should I use an attack percent or HP percent goblet on my main DPS instead of damage percent? For some DPS, HP/attack goblet can be better or identical to damage bonus, since Furina buffs damage bonus by so much already. It will depend heavily on the specific character and team. Question 15. Should I pull for Furina's weapon? Furina's weapon, Splendor of Tranquil Waters, is her best in slot weapon by a good margin, but it is only good on her. Only pull for it if you are looking to maximize your Furina's personal damage. Question 16. Does Furina's HP drain trigger Varukasha's Glow and Beacon of the Reed Sea? Unfortunately not. Day a moment. Question 17. Overall, how relevant is Furina in the meta? Furina is quite possibly the most imposing character on the meta that we have had since pre-Dendro Bennett. What I mean by that is, she's a good to massive DPS increase to an absolutely insane amount of teams. Furina provides a Bennett-sized buff for the entire team while dealing jungling levels of off-field damage and has 100% uptime on off-field Hydra application. There is no universe where she isn't one of, if not the best character in the entire game. That's all the questions for now. If you liked today's video, please be sure to give a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Please also feel free to join my Discord where you can communicate with me directly. And also stay tuned for my Furina guide, which will be up eventually.